Figuring out how to sustainably do the tactics is important. Figuring out how to consistently do them after you've started is important. And then figuring out how do I improve as I go. Like, it all starts with you setting the goals and then paying attention to them.
Write down your top 3 gratitudes and then immediately write down your top 3 goals. So grateful for how far you've come, what is good, and then goals. Get after it. That kind of thing.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode. It was episode number 1255. Why do we revert to the old versions of us? Today, for episode number 1256, one easy way to start being more focused. So Alan came to me and said, hey, I have a really good idea for an episode. And I said, all right, man, what do you got? And he told me. And I said, all right, let's do an episode on that. Since it was your idea, I want to kick it directly to you so you can add value. And since I'm not doing this thing, I cannot authentically talk about it. So Alan, why did you want to do this episode? What was the inspiration behind it?
So I want everyone to know, too, that Kev was not doing this, but he is now. He's, got it on his peak performance tracking system now.
I'm so excited.
For every morning. So pumped.
I'm so excited about it.
So excited. So I was listening to a book. Brendan Burchard has a new book out called The 6 Habits of Growth. And one of the habits of growth is focus. And in that section, there's this one simple habit that he does every single morning, which is writing his top 3 goals down. And I was like, that is fascinating. It's interesting. I was talking to one of my clients about it. Now she wakes up in the morning. This is her peak performance tracker, at least the beginning of it. Write top 3 gratitudes, write top 3 goals. And Kevin and I talk often about grateful dissatisfaction. In other words, be grateful for how far you've come, but you also need to be hungry for more. Hungry for more. So I thought that was really cool. Write down your top 3 gratitudes and then immediately write down your top 3 goals. So grateful for how far you've come, what is good, and then goals. Get after it. That kind of thing. And so I've started doing this. She's doing this. Kev, now you're going to be doing this. I have noticed, and I was talking to her actually Friday, and she said, I've noticed a significant difference in me. And I said, I know. I've noticed a significant difference in me too. I have my remarkable, and I write these out every single day. Top 3 goals. So mine are number 1, 40 clients. And that's between peak performance coaching, business consulting, and relationship talks coaching. And then number 2 is 175 pounds, which I'm on my way to. I'm about to break 180. And then a second home for Emilia and I. Now, this other person, her goals are different, and your goals are different. The point is not what your goals are. The point is identify your top 3, write them down every day. And what I noticed is a significant increase in the amount of focus that I have on those things. And there's a lot of science behind this that I'm not going to go too deep into, but basically, when you write something down, you are programming into your central nervous system and into your subconscious brain these things that you're writing down. That's why taking notes is so powerful. There's a bunch of studies that talk about how if you learn something while you're taking notes, it's going to retain far deeper into your memory. And the reason why is because you're taking action and writing it down, which is connected to your brainstem and your subconscious mind. And so the idea here is very simple. One easy way to start being more focused, write down your top 3 goals every single day. I do it every single day, and I have noticed a significant difference in my focus to the point where when she mentioned it, I was like, I know. It's different, right? And it's not like I was unfocused before, but it is a noticeable increase, genuinely.
If you heard me scratching away when you were talking, Alan, I was getting my notebook out so I could put it out. So first thing tomorrow, I'll do it. When this was like, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, there was a point where every morning I had a journaling habit where I would write, I am pursuing my potential in like 5 things. It would be podcast or speaker, whatever it was. I used to do 5 things I was grateful for. I used to do 5 things I was trying to be the best at. I don't remember what else I did, but I did that every single day. And I
remember in the studio, I would see your old notebooks, and you and I have brutal handwriting.
Definitely.
But definitely. I remember I used to see your affirmations over and over and over again. You used to write them at that coffee shop, right?
There was, so back when Tara and I lived in Massachusetts, we lived probably like 15 minutes away from this really nice town. It was a tiny town, but it had a really nice kind of town center where it had a coffee shop and it had like a yoga studio, and they had these chairs and these tables out. And I would go down there, I would get a latte, like an iced latte, and I would just journal. And I swear, again, I think part of it was just, I don't know, me wanting to think that me going and buying a $7 latte was worth it. But I used to get so much done. I used to have my AirPods in. I used to be super focused, and I just felt very, I know this is woo-woo, but I just felt very abundant there. I felt like it was a very abundant place. It was a really nice town. The coffee shop was really nice. The yoga place was nice. It was just a really nice place. But I got away from that for a long time. I haven't consistently written anything down in the past, like, year.
It worked so well, you decided to stop doing it.
I don't know if it actually worked, because for me, I think it was just too much. I mean, I was doing a full page a day. So at some point, it's like, hey, are you doing this to do it? Like, to say you did it? Or are you doing this because you really think you're getting the most out of what you're doing? I don't even know if I was writing down goals at that point.
That's why I put top 3.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Because anything beyond that is not only unsustainable, but it's probably... you should spend that time working on the goals, not just writing them. But I do think, honestly, affirmations, I do think are powerful. And this tends to happen, particularly to you and I, Kev, is we'll do something that is really powerful, and then we'll stop doing it as we grow and scale because we obviously have less time. And then we realize later, like, that was actually really important. Kevin and I looked back at some fitness photos of us earlier, and there were some fundamentals we used to do more consistently that really did make a big difference, even though maybe at the time we didn't know that. So anyways, this is the question that I have written down for everybody. Simple question to ask yourself. What are your top 3 goals? And are you writing them out consistently? And if you, I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy. This is the thing. I really, really want, the old me would have said, shoot for the moon, that kind of stuff. I think that it was based on a misunderstanding of what we've now done episodes on, which is, what is your level of self-belief? If you have a level 3 self-belief out of 10, set level 3 goals. If you have level 5 self-belief out of 10, set level 5 goals. If you have level 10 self-belief, shoot for the moon, 100%. Write your top 3 goals. You can do health, wealth, and love. You can do whatever you feel called to. I wouldn't even say do health, wealth, and love. I would say, what are 3 things you want to accomplish in the next 90 days? They can be so simple. They can be so simple. Like 175 pounds, I'm literally 6.5 pounds from that. Second home, probably more like a year, most likely. And then you've got 40 clients. I'm anywhere between 90 days and 6 months from that. So don't lock yourself into any one thing. Just write them down. And Brian Tracy actually calls a pen a magic wand, which I think is cool. He says, I write down all my goals, and then by the end of the year, you look at the goals, and some of them you did. It's like magic. It's crazy. I actually know the stats, and I'll go quick on this, but 84% of human beings don't have any goals at all. So if you do this, if you actually write down 3 goals, no matter how simple, no matter how small, you are in the top 16% of humans. Out of those 16%, now this is the sad part, of those 16%, statistically speaking, only 3% of those people actually achieve the goals. But most likely they're not writing them down every morning. You know, and as long as your goals are within the sweet spot of what your belief is, I think you can do it. And I would say that most people set goals that are way too long-term maybe to actualize in a reasonable amount of time to where they can stick with them. So keep them small, keep them quick, keep them measurable. Write them down every day, and I promise you'll be more focused. I'm telling you, I noticed a drastic increase in my focus, particularly on those goals. And if you need help, reach out.
It's hard because when you set goals, sometimes that's the thing is if you don't feel like you're making progress on the day-to-day, it's hard to focus on them. I think a lot of us, again, myself in the past for sure, I would set a goal and then just kind of, I don't want to say assume it would happen, but I would assume, and I know this sounds wild now to think about, but I would assume the fact that I set the goal was the important part. I remember thinking that. I'm like, yeah, I have some really good goals for this year. And then I just wouldn't do anything else. And then I would wonder why nothing happened. And I know it sounds funny, and I'm trying to make it sound a little bit funny, not at your expense if you're dealing with that, but I'm telling you, I think we're convinced that setting goals is awesome, and it is awesome, but it's only as awesome as what you do after. Really. I think that's like the key to success. Go ahead.
You know I'm big into the stats and the science. I think
give us them. Give us the stats and the science.
The chances of you achieving your goal, I do believe, increase by a significant amount. The probability of you achieving your goals will increase by a significant amount if you write them daily. And I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think that. And I want the listeners to know that. I'm very goal-oriented. Everybody knows that. That's great, Alan. But I'm doing this every day because I believe it will increase my chances. It will increase my effectiveness. It will increase my focus. And these goals are really important to me. You know, so
it definitely did that for me. I remember that. I remember when one of them was, I don't remember what it was. Like, I am pursuing my potential to be the most wealthy, abundant version of me possible. Something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. But every time I would write that, I'd think to myself, who can I message today? Like, who's somebody I can message that said they wanted help with something? Who's somebody that I used to coach that I don't anymore? Who can I reach out to? Who can I take what I've just written down and then bring it into real life? And
now what about back then? How much revenue did we generate at NLU back then? Gross revenue versus now?
I don't. I'd have to look at the exact number. Not much. Maybe $60,000 a year. Maybe $70,000 a year.
And then we came in 2022 at $250,000.
Yeah.
So it obviously worked.
Yeah.
And again, it's not all that, but
it
definitely helped.
Hey guys, my name is Jacob Valdellon, and I just finished Next Level Group Coaching. When I joined, I wasn't sure what I was walking into. But during the entire course and the program, I figured out it's not something that I wanted to do, it's something I needed to do. They helped set me on the right path with learning how to do PPTs, peak performance tracking, and every 2 weeks I was gaining new awarenesses and getting a lot more happier, first of all, in my health, wealth, and love, but also winning more practically and tactically in business. So if you're looking to, upgrade your life and get to that next level, definitely sign up for that group coaching.
You have to stay focused on the stuff that I think there's levels. Like, setting a goal is important. Figuring out what are the tactics to accomplish the goal is important. Figuring out how to sustainably do the tactics is important. Figuring out how to consistently do them after you've started is important. And then figuring out how do I improve as I go. Like, it all starts with you setting the goals and then paying attention to them. But I don't know what the stats, because I'm not a stat guy really, but I wonder how many people have forgotten about their goals by March after they set like New Year's resolutions. I wonder how many people, if you said, hey, what was your goal at the beginning of the year? I wonder how many people would say with accuracy, this, and this.
What are your top 3 goals?
Also 40 plus clients and LPS, next level podcast solutions. If you got a podcast, reach out. Love to help you. 175 pounds. Not really crushing that one so much. And then I would say this is more than a 90-day goal. This is probably 6-month goal. International travel with Taryn. So 1 international trip with Taryn. I'm going to go potentially to, oh my goodness, Spain maybe? I don't remember.
And I believe at least 2 of those 3 will happen.
Well, here's the interesting
I'm just
thing.
joking.
One of those, this is the interesting thing. I don't remember where it was. I don't know if it's Spain. I don't remember what we were talking about. The getting more clients helps the possibility of the trip. Getting in better shape helps the possibility of the enjoyment of the trip. If I'm going to take a bunch of pictures and do a bunch of content and be shirtless the whole time, it's all really connected really well. That's another reason why it's so important to check in with them, because we've talked about this a million times. Health, wealth, and love. You're going to make progress in each bucket at a different speed. And if you're not paying attention, it's very easy to get in, I don't want to say it's very easy. It could be easy to get in very good shape, but forget about something else, or make a lot of money in your business, forget about something else, or pour all your time into your your job and forget about something else. I think one of the other important things about focusing on them is it allows you not to fall into a default pattern where it would be very easy to set 3 goals and then accomplish 1 and then forget about the other 2. That's possible. You feel like you're making progress. Well, I don't care. What's the big deal? I'm accomplishing 1. I'm making way more money. The other 2, I'll get to those later, or I've just forgotten about them. I think we can also fall back on progress, which makes it hard to accomplish what we actually want to.
Well, I think 1 is too few. I think 10 is maybe too many. And again, I'm leading by example in this. Kevin and I talked recently about this podcast and what we want to help people with. And let's get back to the grassroots
brass tacks.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Grassroots brass tacks of why we started this podcast all those years ago. Help people achieve their goals and dreams. Heart driven, but no BS. That's really what we landed on. And we talked a lot about other shows and the self-improvement industry, all this different stuff. And I remember you were writing down on the Zoom whiteboard, Kev, you were writing down all these different things. And one of them was example, leading by example. And so for Kevin and I, one of the reasons we talk about ourselves on this show is not because we want to just sit here and talk about ourselves. It's because we want to show that we're leading by example. Kevin and I are both doing this. We are both writing our goals every single day as of the recording of this episode. Now, will we still be doing that in 4 years? I don't know. But as of right now, we do believe that is the best play. We both have it on our peak performance tracker. And if you need help setting goals, please reach out to either one of us because we've helped so many people with that. And I know a lot of people don't even know where to start. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be simple. I think simple is powerful because when it's super complex, you're not going to most likely do it anyway. And it's not like him and I are writing 10 goals or 50 goals or 100 goals. It really is 3. And I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't believe that was the sweet spot.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be massive effort for... I don't want to say that. It doesn't have to be massive effort to make a difference.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, I take 4 hours in the mornings to do my morning routine. You can take 5 minutes and write goals down. You'll probably get some sort of ROI out of that. Is it the same? I don't know. It depends on what you're doing. But the best place to start is where it's sustainable. And start with 3 things and go and then see how it works and then go from there. That's the other interesting thing too is you might not get the results. You most likely won't get the results or you won't get the feeling or you might not recognize the benefits right away either. But it's something that's so easy to do that it's like, it's going to take 5 minutes a day. It's not a big deal if you don't see the benefits right away.
I noticed within a week that I was like, I'm behaving a little different. It's not drastic. It's not like anyone else would notice. But when she mentioned it, I was like, it is different, right? She's like, yeah, definitely.
And then you just don't have to do anything else and your goals just show up? You just kind of like jot it down?
No, I would say that you will definitely be more focused. Okay. If you write your goals down every day, Kev, you'll notice within a week or 2 that you are more focused on them. That is what I will say.
Okay. I will do it, and then I will report back to the members of Next Level Nation.
Please do.
Do you dig it?
I dig it.
Next Level Nation, if you want assistance, support, breakthroughs when it comes to goal setting and accomplishing said goals, please join us for Next Level Live 2023, April 1st, Worcester, Mass. A full day of self-improvement, but more than that, it's an experience where you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn about other things, life, love, health, and wealth. You're going to make friends, and hopefully you'll have a shift in your identity. And you'll leave that room and you'll say, you know what? I'm grateful I did that because I feel a little bit differently about myself, which means I feel a little bit differently about my goals. So everything you need to know is in the show notes. We would love to see you. Please check out the link.
It's Sunday morning, yesterday. And I wake up, and one of the first things that I do, as you know, is write down my goals. Eventually, I get around to checking my phone, and I get an email from one of the listeners that says, hey, I want to join book club. So if you have a goal to read more, I know a lot of people do have that goal, particularly listeners of this show. We read 1 chapter every single week in book club, and it's good public accountability because we all are reading together. It's kind of like having a gym partner. You're more likely to go. So, Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess by Dr. Caroline Leaf, 1 chapter per week. Join us, and the link to register will be in the show notes.
If you want to email me, too, you can email me and say things. I feel like you get a lot more emails than I do.
Well, I plug book club more often than you.
Book club.
Alan at nextleveluniverse.com.
Also,
and
real quick.
You can completely ignore Kevin at nextleveluniverse.com.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Strong work. I saw that you just crossed 100 weeks in a row. Strong work.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You're very consistent, the most consistent human I've ever met, and the kid will never miss. I've never been to any of them. Actually, I have. I can't say that. I've been to some, but the fact that you do not miss, and I always know it's going to be there on a Saturday, although I choose not to attend, I feel really good about it.
Thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, 100 weeks. 100
That's
weeks.
a lot of weeks.
It's a lot. It's funny because everyone was celebrating that. I'll go quick about this. Everyone was celebrating 100 weeks, and in my head, it was like 104 is 2 years.
Yeah.
So to me, 104 is the sweet spot.
You're not
2
there
full
yet.
years of book club. At one point, that was just a dream, and we had a good attendance last Saturday. I think it was 14 people, maybe. It's good. It's really, thank you, brother. Thank you. I'll just take the compliment.
Yeah. I love it, and I love books, and I love the feel of them, and to open them, and the scent. Here's the other thing, too. Last thing before we go. This is weird. We usually don't talk at the end. That's one of the benefits of NLU and the community and the things that we do, and this isn't tooting our own horn, but usually the things we start, we're most likely going to do forever. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing, too, is now that we're doing Next Level Live once a year, it's going to happen once a year forever, and then it'll probably happen twice a year, and eventually maybe it'll happen every quarter. So that's another benefit. We want to be consistent human beings. Alan talked about leading by example. Everything we do, we plan on doing forever. So if you're in the community, there will always be a podcast episode for you every single day forever. It's a lot of pressure.
It is. 1%
pressure.
Improvement every day. Self-improvement in your pocket every day from anywhere on the planet.
Yep.
Completely free.
Completely
Next
free.
Level University.
Next Level University. Next Level Nation tomorrow for episode number 1257, the 3 big reasons why people fail.
Mm-hmm.
I had a moment, excuse me?
That's all I said.
Oh, okay. I had a moment where I asked Alan, I said, are these like really the only 3 things? Are these like the biggest 3 things? Yeah. Is it a law? I don't know. We're going to talk about it on the next episode. As always, we love you, appreciate you, grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out.